Hello, everyone. My name's Duncan White. I'm the managing editor of the International Fire and Safety Journal, and I'm delighted today to be joined by David Rhodes and Eric Schlett from FDIC International. Good afternoon, Eric. Coming to you first, my friend. How's it going?
Good, Duncan. Thank you for having us, and it's a pleasure to see you.
It's always great when we start talking at this time of the year because we know that FDIC is coming right round the corner for us. David, how's things with you, my friend?
Busy as always, but it's the greatest time of year leading up to the conference. There's never a dull moment, and you got to be prepared for everything.
I think you're right, and I think what is great is that you look at the whole fire service family, and it was a conversation I was having last week out in Dubai. That wherever we are in the world, wherever you're part of that fire family, the welcome and the camaraderie is second to none. We may not always speak the same language, but through drawings and animations, we all get the same message across. And that fire family is unique, and that's why so many people can be rightly jealous of what we've got, because there's very few organizations or industries in the world that share that same brotherhood and that camaraderie.
For sure. And with that said, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't take a moment to think about and reflect on our Los Angeles city and county and all the mutual aid folks that have been really having at it for the past 2.5 weeks, literally in hell, but doing a magnificent job and under very, very difficult circumstances. So shout out to them, and we're all thinking and praying for all of you and the communities that you serve.
Yeah, totally agree and echo that sentiment, Eric. And I think that what we as the media, if you like, of the fire industry, what we can give those guys and girls is that they've been subject to a lot of press and media coverage, a lot of which is far from the truth, and they've been subjected to a lot of random information. If we do nothing else to support them and send them our best wishes, we know that we report the truth, and when the time is right, we will report exactly what went on to counteract the attention, that the unwarranted attention that the less scrupulous media outlets have been dealing with. But David, I'm sure you'd like to add something that to Eric's sentiments there in relation to our colleagues in LA.
Yeah, for sure. I've actually been on the phone with a couple of them this morning, and they're just now starting to demobilize some of the units and let them get back home and get some much deserved rest. So hopefully the weather will cooperate, and I think they have enough resources in the area now to quickly respond to anything that might come up. So they did a phenomenal job on the ground, and like you said, the real reports will come out in the analysis. A lot of speculations and stuff, and every urban fire department deals with budget crises and staffing crises and fire code issues. I mean, there's just so many things that go into an incident like that. But the reality is, it's very hard to put out a fire in a 80-mile-an-hour wind. And I don't care how many resources you have. If you got an 80-mile-an-hour wind and a tinder box, it's going to be a tough day or a tough week.
Yeah, very much so. And you always find that the people that write these stories are the ones that have never experienced it. And one day, when they're ready, we could invite them to go in and see exactly the sort of conditions that those guys and girls were under, albeit under a controlled scenario. That way, they can have a real understanding.
Yeah, it's interesting because that's why we at Fire Engineering, in almost any major incident, we'll report some news that we're getting from the wire, but we're not going to take a position until after action when we can investigate it and get all of the facts. So, I think there's going to be a lot of learnings from this. And I think there's truths and half truths and partial truths and falsehoods throughout this thing. But, we have to be respectful of the men and women that are, on the ground doing that job. And I'm just praying for them every single day.
Yeah, exactly right, Eric. And once the facts are known, then a factual report based on actual evidence rather than hearsay can be pulled together, and we can be sure that between fire engineering and International Fire and Safety Journal will ensure that the voice of those guys and girls and their departments are heard, and the truth is there for all to judge. David, it's always exciting as we turn the corner of the new year and we're in the rundown to the conference and the expo at FDIC. So, what can we look forward to this year? And any little sneak peeks that Eric's going to let you share with me?
Yeah, outside of my 1 minute and 30-second speech that David allows me.
Yeah, actually, breaking news right here. It looks like he may get 1:45 this year instead of 36. He always does a good job. We have a fun time in rehearsals with each other doing that. I guess we'll start with the education tracks, which is, one of the main reasons that folks are coming there. And proud to say again, I think we have the largest education track of any fire conferences out there. We'll have in the pre-conference on Monday and Tuesday, we'll have 21 hands-on classes, which is one more than we had last year. We added a water rescue class back in, and over the 2 days, it's 21 classes, but it's 64 actual sessions. So some are 4-hour sessions offered twice a day, and some are 8-hour sessions. Last year, we introduced a new educational delivery we call the Hot Workshop, and it's a hybrid program where you do a little bit of classroom and then you do a little bit of hands-on. You don't have to get on a bus to leave the site. Everything's contained within the buildings around the conference center or in the conference center themselves. We did 6 of those last year in 12 sessions, and this year we're increasing that to 9 and 18 sessions on Monday and Tuesday. And drum roll, please. Big news is we are expanding hands-on training and workshops to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So for somebody who can't make the pre-con, there's still a little something for you. They're all on site, but we've got some pretty heavy hitters in there. So we've got a mastering command hot workshop that goes along with the actual 4-hour classroom. But there's going to be command cars, simulations done with tablets and software. So you'll actually be commanding an incident with the instructors. We have Dave McGrail coming back with a high-rise class that we were going to hold in a parking deck across the street. We've got a mid-rise mayhem class with Steve Robertson, Todd Edwards. And this one's going to be really cool. It's almost sold out. Is Friday, there'll be 2 4-hour sessions of urban rescue rigging that will be held in the superstructure of Lucas Oil Stadium. So even if you're not in the class, you'll be able to see that going on up in the structure. And we got Mike Champo on Friday with a tower ladder class, and a first of its kind. We've partnered with the National Fire Sprinkler Association, Shane Ray and his group, and they have a brand new training trailer. It's modern fires, modern fire protection, and it's a hands-on deal with a little bit of classroom, and you'll actually be pumping the fire sprinkler systems in these big box warehouse in a trailer that simulates they flow water, and they're actually, educating the fire service on how to deal with a lot of these fire protection systems, fire pumps. And that one's actually free to the attendees because they have sponsored that class, but you still have to sign up for it. So that's the education. We also have 53 4-hour workshops. We've got 190 plus classroom sessions over Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And it's just over half of our education this year is CAPCE accredited for EMS hours. And so you can be getting your EMT recert hours in as you're attending hot classes, workshops, or even just some of the hour 45 sessions. When the conference gets going, even more in that, our summits have expanded. The Metro Officers Gym Innovation return. So the Metro Officers is a group of officers that's sort of the second tier command in large urban departments. And they're the operations chiefs, the technical services chiefs, the logistics and finance folks. And they're talking about the day-to-day operations, in large departments. Jim's innovation with, the latest in EMS technology and service delivery. And then new this year is the Next Gen Fire Rescue Tech Summit. And this is going to be exciting. It'll be 4 hours of classroom on the latest technologies that are emerging for the fire service. And then after the classroom session, we're going to bus out to the Indianapolis Fire Department Training Center for some live technology demonstrations. And all that's part of the Next Gen Fire Rescue Tech Summit. First, a new thing is the Industrial Fire Group. We'll be meeting there. They have a couple of classes and then an event to network with industrial firefighters from all over the country. And then we're bringing back the Officers Club, which gives you a chance to network with some of our leading exhibitors and vendors in a pre-formatted program that gives you a lot of one-on-one time with some of those folks. We've got, as you know, 3 co-located partner conferences. Tall Buildings returns. That was the first last year, so Tall Buildings will be back with a full program. We're welcoming back Women in Fire for their leadership conference. So they will be there. And then for the second year, we're bringing back the ARF working group, and they will have their conference there as well. So then we get into the exhibits, and we're packed pretty much full again this year through the convention center. And then we've put together a phenomenal program to go along with the Lucas Oil Stadium experience. The return of the drill yard, which was very popular last year, and there's a little bit of expansion with that. Still a few details to work out, but I think the Lion Burn building is definitely going to 2 stories, possibly 3 stories, and that is an all digital training burn building. New this year will be a 3-story training tower. Set up to do hose advances, rope rescue, bailouts, anything like that. Then we have an extrication area, a full stage teaching shed type atmosphere where there'll be a lot of speakers. And then we've got new is the Firefighter Nation Health and Wellness area. We rebranded Firefighter Nation this year from primarily a news and leadership type publication to dealing with health, wellness, firefighter lifestyle, finances, cancer research, anything to do with functioning in the job. And that's going well. So we've got a lot of guest speakers coming to that location. So within Lucas Oil, there's going to be 3 or 4 stages. So we've got the gyms area where we'll have the gyms training. You can have hands-on training over in that section. We'll also have the competition back. They've changed it up a little bit. It's a clinical competition now, no longer the gym's games. So you'll be able to see what's going on. Like you'll be able to see the preliminaries even, and not just the finale. Tons of guest speakers that'll be in there on all types of subjects, from tactical stuff to health and wellness. And then new this year is Tribute Square, which is like a networking space. It'll be where we kick off the stair climb on Friday. And it's just a good space to come. And if you need to meet a client, or you just want to get together with a couple of folks and have a little brotherhood, sisterhood conversation, grab something to eat. And then the Memorial Park is back as well. So packed house. I'm sure I missed something. So Eric, if you thought of something while I was talking, be sure to.
Dude, you took my whole speech, bro.
There you go.
No, it's good. I wanted you to carry it. And clearly your in-depth knowledge of all things going on are great, right?
And we still may have a couple surprises we haven't announced yet. We're still working.
Yeah, we always, but just adding on to what we're doing. So we've rebranded, what we used to call our niche events, like the Metro Officers, the GEMS Innovations. David pointed out that we added, the next gen fire tech, portion of it, as well as industrial fire, which we think are important, right? So our goal with these things are really to create meaningful connections and create education between the constituents who do those particular jobs that have literally asked us, hey, can you create something just for us? And David, I don't remember if you mentioned ARF. ARF will be there too, again. But it's really to hone in on these specified disciplines so that we can kind of be the all-encompassing one-stop shop. And it's meaningful not only to these folks as people who are going to go back to their departments and educate their team, they're also critical buying agents for the, manufacturers to say they want to see them. And I think you'll start seeing more and more of this as we get more and more properties. As you might know, that Indy is building an Insignia hotel. Won't be ready till 2027, but we understand we're under pressure for the hotel rooms. I would just be remiss if I didn't remind everybody that the show is April 7th through the 12th. I want to make sure I stay in Lauren's good graces and make sure that I'm throwing that out there so everybody remembers to register as soon as possible. Early registration has been very, very strong. Exhibits as well. Right now we're tracking about 11% up from where we were same time last year. So, it's going to be another great event. And I think that's a testament to my team, particularly David, Lauren, everyone who worked for them, who really create fabulous education, terrific content, and really wonderful experiences. So hats off to them.
Yeah, I'd like to just add to that, Eric, that if anybody's not been to FDIC before, but have been to fire shows elsewhere around the world, FDIC is like something that you've never experienced because of that education, knowledge exchange, learning, and understanding. It's the one place that I've ever been where I can talk to a vendor. I can look at some equipment. I can then go and discuss that same equipment with firefighters that use it regularly, and very often see it in use in some of the demonstration areas, and that's hugely unique. And again, it gives you the opportunity to look at things with a vendor, and then get everything that they've told you ratified by speaking to end users that are currently using it. And that's not only beneficial to visitors, but it's hugely beneficial to vendors, because they're then getting that witness testimony firsthand from the first responders. And with that melding together, where we bring gems together with firefighting and the Metro Chiefs and the high rise, we're now seeing the expansion of FDIC into such a multicultural learning and education environment. And again, as you said, Eric, that's testament to Dave and his team, because really now, with departments' budgets stretched and the need to ensure best value when you're spending city money to send firefighters, the more that they can learn during their time at the show gives them more opportunity to go back and share that knowledge and understanding with their peers back in the department. So yes, if any of organizers other events are looking to an event to aspire to, then I tell you, you need to speak to David and his team and come along and see what is truly possible. And it's all done with a smile and the whole humor that FDIC brings when you get the world's bravest together, interacting both. Playing hard during the day and working hard during the day and playing hard in the evening, which brings that whole experience together. So it's certainly one not to be missed. And Eric said, don't forget, we're early this year. We're coming into town a lot earlier because of the dates for Easter. So don't forget, don't get caught out, and get yourself registered. So guys, Eric, what else do you want to tell me?
There's so much that I could think of. I'd be remiss if I didn't say how grateful I am to the city of Indianapolis, and particularly the IFD, for the amazing work and support they do in helping us to do this. If you haven't been to Indianapolis, you haven't been to FDIC, I encourage you to go. It is an extremely inviting city, very safe. Everything is walkable. Plenty of good restaurants, terrific pubs and bars, right? You guys would call them pubs over there on the other side of the pond, Duncan, but you and I have shared a libation or two at some of those establishments. But really, during the day, it's really focused on education and product investigation, research, talking to the vendors. But at night, it is really the coming together of this great and unique industry, and the men and women who just do an incredible job. And it really is, they cut loose, they have some fun, and then the next day they're back at it, So a week long of great education and a lot of fun and great networking opportunities.
Yeah, most definitely. And as we all know, some of our best friends, some of our best contacts have been made off the show floor of during networking of an evening. And to add to what you said, Eric, this will be my 20 plus trip to FDIC, and it is such a safe city, and the ability to walk the city and take the opportunity to step a couple of blocks back and look at the fantastic parks, the walk up through Madison Avenue, and the evening up there at the open house with the firefighters along Mass Avenue, and then walk back into town is just so wonderful. And it's always the first one that I put on my calendar every year, and the one we start planning for. So I would say, if there's any more information anybody wants about FDIC that they can't find on what is a fantastic website, then feel free to reach out to either myself, Eric, or David, because
everything is there right on FDIC.com.
Yeah, and be sure to download the app. Everything will be on the app. The schedule, you can go in and select your classes and set it up so you've got a good schedule. All the information is on there. Communications will be going out through the app periodically, so you can see the show floor map, to guide you to certain places you want to see. So it's definitely expanded. We are busting at the seams and ready for larger facilities and growth. Pretty soon we'll be Indy wide.
Exactly, and again that whole uniqueness of the event, and never sitting on your laurels, and always looking to expand and regenerate is a testament. So, gentlemen, it's always a pleasure for me to spend time with you both. It's nice to look forward that in a few weeks we'll be touching base face to face again, and reacquainting ourselves with those friendships. And please do download the app. It is a fantastic tool, and it makes life so much easier when you're scheduling, and also when you're hunting for that vendor that you can't find, having been up and down the same aisle 13 times. It does help you. And www.fdic.com will give you all the information you need in relation to the show. I'm Duncan White. I'm the managing editor of the International Fire Safety Journal, and I've had the absolute pleasure of speaking to David Rhodes, Education Director for FDIC, and Eric Schlett, Vice President with Clarion. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Duncan.
Thank you, Duncan. Appreciate you.